Oh, I didn't see you there. Today's lesson is about Teddy Roosevelt's square deal on the 3 C's. The 3 C's impacted America by controlling corporations, protecting consumers, and working to conserve natural resources.
Aimed at helping out middle-class citizens and actively attacking plutocracy and bad trust while protecting business from the demanding labor forces, Teddy Roosevelt was a progressive Republican who thought he should use the government to control social evils.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Teddy Roosevelt's 3 C's square deal aimed at preventing big businesses from ruining the economy and controlling corporations. The Elkins Act of 1903 imposed heavy fines on railroad companies that offered rebates and the shippers that accepted them. The Hepburn Act of 1906 expanded the Interstate Commerce Commission to railroads, pipelines, and sleeping car companies and express companies. Teddy Roosevelt believed in good trusts and bad trusts. Good trusts were aimed at public consciousness. Bad trusts were greedy for power. During his term, Teddy Roosevelt initiated over 40 legal proceedings against monopolies. Teddy Roosevelt didn't really believe that monopoly crushing was sound economic policy, but he wanted to be symbolic and show the people that the government and not big business ruled the country.
Oh.
Would you like some olive oil with that?
No.
Okay.
Wait! Pull up a chair. Your service is average, but let me tell you about how Teddy Roosevelt cared for the consumer. Did you know, in 1906, foreign governments threatened to throw out all of the meat that America had sent them because it was tainted with botulism?
Really?
Yes! This resulted in the need for safer canned products. In fact, Upton Sinclair wrote a book called The Jungle, and he intended for it to be talking about the workers in the canned industries and the factories, but he shocked the public with his descriptions of the unsanitary food process. Yeah, I know. He was all in detail about the filth and the disease that were in these slaughterhouses. And so this led to Roosevelt and Congress passing the Meat Inspection Act, which made for all of the preparation of meat shipped over state lines that to be subject to federal inspections. I know. And then in 1906 he passed the Pure Food and Drug Act, and it was designed to prevent the adulteration and mislabeling of food and drugs.
That's crazy.
I know.
Oh hey, didn't see that. I want to talk to you about nature for a few minutes. Teddy Roosevelt's square deal involves saving the ecosystem and making natural resources last long. One of these ways was the Forest Reserve Act, where it set aside tons of land for national parks and reserves, which would help the ecosystem last and oxygen be created. Another one of these was the Desert Land Act, where they sold land super cheap to farmers, with the only conditions being that they water the soil for 3 years. Back in 1913, there was a big controversy over Hetch Hetchy Valley in Yosemite National Park. The government had taken some of the national resources like timber to build a dam in San Francisco, and the conservationists did not like that at all. Teddy Roosevelt said it was all right because it was using the national resources for the people's benefit, and it still persists in the day-to-day. The people didn't like the fact that the government was taking the sacred land that they thought should be theirs in the national reserves. But then the people in the government figured that it was fine since they were doing it for the people, and that would help further the economy and keep away the big businesses away from the small man.
how Teddy Roosevelt's Square Deal changed America.